Self-publishing isn't for everyone, but whether you're just starting out or deep into your writing journey, I hope the things I've learned will help you move forward wherever you're headed next. Hello, I'm Charlotte Glaze. This year, I became a published author illustrator with my book, Storm Trucks. It's a picture book about a young boy who loves trucks but hates thunderstorms, and how he overcomes his fear with his imagination. Today, I'll walk you down my creative path, then we'll get into the business side. Publishing options, costs, tools, the many hats you wear as a self-publishing author, and how to market your book after it's published. I know it's a lot to cover, so if you have questions along the way, please leave them in the comments below, and I would love to answer them. I want to start off by giving you an overview of my own creative journey and how I published Storm Trucks before diving into the nitty-gritty details. When I was pregnant with my daughter Lily, who is now 11, I was working as a preschool teacher. I had bad nausea all through my pregnancy and stopped working. With my newfound free time, I started writing a YA novel. I eventually finished the draft and knew I needed some feedback. Looking around for writing groups, I found SCBWI. I attended my first meeting scared and overwhelmed and met a few people. After the meeting, I got a call from Anna Myers, who wanted to meet me for lunch and read some of my work. She encouraged me after reading my pages. That encouragement kept me going. Over time, I realized my novel had an overly predictable plot. Meanwhile, I was discovering the magic of picture books. They were fast to draft, fun to write, and creatively fulfilling. I polished some of my picture book stories and queried them, and queried them, and queried them. I saw that a lot of agents were only interested in author-illustrator submissions. I had been an art major in school. Why not try my hand at illustrating my own book? Now, drawing one picture is way different than illustrating a whole book of pictures and making your character look like the same character throughout the book. I also didn't know a lot about telling a story through my pictures, since my major had been graphic design, not illustration. So I paid for a course called Children's Book Pro and learned so much about what to do. I also met my critique group, a group of ladies who live around the world, but we all took the class together. We still meet online and critique each other's work, and I can't say enough how important finding a good critique group is. After the class, I started creating my picture book dummy. A dummy is the sketch version of all the pages in your picture book, with 3 finished pictures to demonstrate your finished art style. Then I queried my dummy. The book had changed, gotten deeper, and had a better storyline and arc, and it was much stronger than it had been before. But still, no agent. I had a choice. I could continue to create new dummies and query them, or I could take what I'd done so far and finish it. It might not be Shakespeare, but I would never know what I could do if I didn't try. So the question I asked myself was, do I want to finish a book, or do I want to make more picture book dummies and never have a finished book? Why not finish something all the way and just see what happens? The same group of illustration teachers who had created Children's Book Pro had created a new course called Self-Publishing Pro. I took this course and learned how to publish my own picture book. And so, now we come to the 5 big truths I learned about self-publishing. Number 1, there's more than one path. Number 2, it's a lot of work. Number 3, it costs money. Number 4, you can fund it. And number 5, printing is not the end. There's more than one way to make a book. I made a whole YouTube video about this subject, but here are your options. Big traditional publishers, they're like the Hollywood blockbuster of publishing. That's your Penguin Random House, HarperCollins, Macmillan, Simon & Schuster, Hachette Book Group. These guys are only accessible through an agent. So first you query an agent, then your agent queries the publishers, then you either win the book lottery or you wait in publishing limbo for an unknown time frame. Another choice is small press traditional publishers. These are like the indie filmmakers of publishing. Some of these take unagented submissions and some still only take manuscripts from agents. These typically have a certain market that they serve, such as romance or science fiction or a regional interest of some sort. Hybrid publishers is another choice. This is like hiring your own video production company. This is a model that works great for a lot of people. You pay money to the publisher and they provide you with various services in return. These vary based on the hybrid publisher. They could edit, copy edit, set up the book layouts, design the cover, print the books. They might also handle some marketing and distribution. The range of hybrid publishing is huge, and so researching and finding a quality hybrid publisher that you want to work with is a must. It's also a really great choice for a lot of people, but you have to be wary because some of the publishers out there are scams. And finally, self-publishing. This is like the YouTuber of book publishing. In self-publishing, there are already set up solutions for this. Amazon KDP is great for paperbacks and ebooks, or IngramSpark does hardbacks, paperbacks, and ebooks. You could also print your book independently. With all these choices, after I was unsuccessful in pitching my book to agents, I looked into what the differences were in hybrid and KDP and IngramSpark. I got books published by different printers to look at. I also got some quotes from independent printers so I could make an informed decision. For price comparison, here are the real numbers for my book I received from different vendors. This is for 500 books, which is how many I ended up printing. A hybrid publisher quoted me $1,975 without any books printed. This was just getting my book ready, publishing it, and limited marketing. If I wanted copies to sell myself, they would be more than this. An American printer quoted me $3,418. I got several quotes from printers in China. The one I used was for $1,607. IngramSpark is a print-on-demand printer, but if I wanted to buy 500 and resell them, it would cost me $4,829. Amazon KDP only does paperback print-on-demand, so this quote of $2,100 is for paperbacks, but the rest on this page would be for hardbacks. I didn't base my decision solely on price. I got sample books from several of these sources and took that into account with my decision as well. I set up my book on IngramSpark for potential library orders, but their service was not great. No samples arrived, and formatting was tricky. Still, some authors swear by it for school and library access. Overall, I was happy with the printed samples I received from the printer I talked to in China, and I decided to publish it there. Number 2, it's a lot of work. If you enjoy wearing lots of hats, from project manager to designer to marketer, self-publishing might be your thing. If not, I would consider hybrid publishing. Here are some of the jobs involved in making a quality book: editing, book design, illustration, copy editing, printing, distribution, marketing. Now, I have training and have worked as a graphic designer, so I was able to do the book layout myself. But if you are serious about self-publishing, there are a lot of jobs along the way in publishing your book that would be good to hire out to professionals. If you don't want to hire any help along the way and can't do these jobs, then maybe a hybrid publisher is the best option for you. Number 3, it costs money. If you are not chosen by a traditional publisher and still want to publish your book, you will be paying money. If you are ready to treat your book as a business, whether you are traditionally published or self-published, you're going to have to spend money to make money. As you saw with my price chart earlier, there is a lot of variety in cost. But I would personally recommend that you not skimp on the cost of a good illustrator or cover designer if you are hiring them yourself, because that is how people will judge your book, by its cover. A professionally published book needs professional level investment. I put some book covers on this slide so you can see. Pride and Prejudice is public domain, so there are self-published versions out there and professional publishing house versions. Which is which? I bet you can tell. Number 4, there are options for funding your book. So you could be self-funding, which is paying it out of your own pocket. You could borrow money, a bank loan or a credit card. Don't do this, it's a bad choice. Crowdfunding, this is pre-orders or Kickstarter or Indiegogo. This is a great option you might not have considered. This is a way to get the capital for your project before paying for it, so you don't have to have all the money up front. It is also a great way to see if people are actually going to pay for your project before you invest a lot of your own money into it. Or you can always rob a bank, but I guess you don't need to publish books then. I chose to crowdfund with Kickstarter, mostly because the people who had taught my self-publishing class had successfully used Kickstarter to launch their products and had a lot of information about that in the course. So here's my Kickstarter page. It was a lot of work, but I felt like it was a success. Basically, Kickstarter or Indiegogo is like a pre-order, but with bonus items. You can encourage people to be invested in your book's success by ordering it beforehand. Then, as you publish it, you keep them in the loop until finally shipping the book to your readers. Also, if you launch another book, you can keep in touch with all those previous backers and ask them to back you again. And here are the reward tiers I offered in my Kickstarter. From my ebook for $10 to the hardback for $20, and then I added combos, one with ebook, hardback, and signature sticker, then bookmarks, stickers, and everything. My goal was $2,000, which was enough for the printing of my book and the rewards that I was offering to go with the book. And I had 40 backers, most of them people I know, but also some that just found my project and decided to back it. Kickstarter makes nice tables of data, like where people come from who back your project. And they provide a nice breakdown for after your project is over to let you know how many of each package you need to put together. As you can see, most of my backers jumped into the early bird special, which was my signature package at a discount for the first 24 hours. And that brings us to number 5. Printing is not the end. I've learned a lot, and I'm still learning a lot about marketing my book after the book publishing part. Once you finally have a book, then what? You have to find people to buy your book. Here's a few quotes that seem to fit this stage of the publishing journey. Not all marketing people are writers, but all writers must learn to be marketers. Joanne Craft. And the work of promoting your book requires just as much work as writing your book, if not more so. Adam S. McHugh. I thought getting my book printed was the finish line. Turns out it was just the starting gate of a whole new race. Marketing. Here are some marketing must-haves for your book marketing. The first thing I had was all my book information in one document. This means the following things are in one document: the book title, the book subtitle, the book description, the book summary, author bio, short author bio, your book categories, that's the BISAC, reading age, keywords, ISBN numbers, copyright notice, publisher, awards list, sell blurb, which is why someone wants to buy your book, testimonials, blurbs, reviews, ad copy so you can reuse it, and all the links that people can order your book from. Number 2, customize letters to introduce your book. These are letters to podcast hosts, bloggers, librarians, bookstores, etc. Images of your book. You're gonna want book cover in various sizes, book mock-up, picture of you holding your book, an author photo, interior images of your book. And you also want other marketing materials, bookmarks, postcards, stickers, coloring sheets, PDF version of your book. So once you have all these things, where can you sell your book? First, there are different versions of your book. So for a hardback or paperback version, you can sell those to stores, at in-person events, at libraries, online storefront, which is like Shopify, Square, Wix. If you're selling to a store or a library, your selling price will be the wholesale price of your book, which is usually 60% of the selling price. Your ebook version of your book can be sold on Amazon, Everand, Hoopla, Apple, Barnes & Noble, Google Books, Overdrive, Epic, Booka app, Kobo, BookBub. Your audiobook can be sold in places like Findaway, Overdrive, and BookFunnel. Places where you can advertise your book are, number 1, your email list. This is the best. These people actually want to hear from you. They have said so. They are your truest fans. Another great one is in-person events. I've had a lot of luck selling books to strangers at book events. There becomes a personal connection in meeting the person who created a book, and that personal connection can create a sale. These include to bookstores, gift stores, libraries, school visits, markets, and fairs. Another way that's helped me is social media posts. These are also seen by people who said they wanted to follow you, so they are a warm lead. They may not be all the way your fans yet, but they have taken a step that way and might be willing to take another step of buying your book. Some other places you can advertise are Amazon ads, Meta ads, Pinterest ads, BookBub ads, email subscription lists, bloggers, influencers. I have not had much luck with any of those. Now, I'm going to step into the most controversial area, using AI. If you are strongly opposed to using AI at all, please just skip this part of the video. But I have found that it has sped up my process for marketing considerably. I do not use AI to write or illustrate my books, but I absolutely use it to help me market them. It's like having a free assistant who never gets tired of brainstorming. I tried Claude and ChatGPT, but I like that the free version of ChatGPT remembers things from conversation to conversation, while with Claude, you have to set up a project in a paid version in order to start multiple conversations and not have to re-explain everything every time. So, how do I use AI for my marketing? I use it for planning my strategy, creating letter templates for marketing, brainstorming social media post ideas, writing social media posts, brainstorming free marketing giveaways, finding hashtags for my posts, with topic suggestions for blog posts, and title suggestions for emails or blog posts. And it's really easy to use. You can even ask ChatGPT to write a prompt for you that will get you the results you want. It's not perfect, but it's a time saver on tasks you might not really want to spend your time and creative energy on. I discovered that I really dislike spending my energy on social media, but I also found that it is a good way to get the word out about my events and books. It also is good to have the presence out there for anyone who hears about you so they can see what you're all about. But since I don't want to spend all my energy coming up with social media posts, I came up with a system and it works for me. I spend 1 day a month getting all my posts ready for the whole month. Then I just check on them as they post to see if there are any comments. On Monday, I do a motivational quote. On Tuesday, I do reading and literacy tips. On Wednesday, website, blog, or YouTube promo. On Thursday, engagement and community posts. And on Friday, any book or event promotion. In conclusion, you don't need permission to make your book. You just need craft, courage, and commitment. I have some resources in a handout to help you along your way. It's in the notes below. Whether you choose traditional, hybrid, or self-publishing, just don't give up. Your readers are out there and they are waiting. If you're interested in getting my book, the link is available below. I'm an indie author, illustrator, and I have more resources available for you. Click that like and subscribe button and you'll get posted anytime I add new content. Thanks.